no, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Because it's me.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room.
Because it's
My
me.
God. It's a choice after all.
Yes.
Well, this one is yours.
Yes. It's all about choice. Stop telling me what to do, narrator. My choice.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back. How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself.
And it changes every time.
This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
Access. Awaiting input. Input received. What? Okay. But yeah, this game is really fun. That's the new content through that door, but we're not doing that just now. We're going round and round. So here's the first choice.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right, we're going to go to the door on the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Of course.
The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too majestic, like a combination of a much smaller version and a much larger version of this exact room.
Yes.
It all made Stanley uncomfortable, and he started to bleed a little. This made him smile. At last, proof that he was human.
That's new.
But eager to get back to business,
Yeah.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Right.
Look,
We're jumping to this.
I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy. Really
Yes, you are.
not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult,
Uh-huh.
but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on
Right.
your
We
side.
took the door on the left last
Give me
time.
a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
No, we didn't.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
No, we didn't.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
No, we didn't.
All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see, there's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end,
Ooh,
it
what's
was all
that?
for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees?
Yeah.
Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback.
Oh, wonderful. Yes.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Now, is 1 the best or 5 the best? So let's go with 3, because that way, haha.
Oh, of course. A 3. Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings? Does that sound good? Think we can do that? Yes? Wonderful. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Does that mean that the Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard in total? Oh, no way are these people real. Did you know that 21 skipped the intro sequence? Only 3% of players chose the blue door. 98% of players. What? That's me. Error, friends list is empty. What? Are you kidding me? Still going through this one. Fuck you.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting.
I'm so dead, he's killing me.
Mind taking a look at it, would you?
Yeah.
Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Oh no.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Oh my god.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for you. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
This is the game that Alex was playing. It is. Or it's a imitation of the game. Firewatch, right? This is Firewatch.
Oh no. No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. A big, open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it.
Oh my god.
Now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Oh, my cheeks are hurting, guys, honestly.
I think this will be just the thing.
What the hell?
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Well done. Well done.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must.
Yes.
Okay, Stanley.
It is.
Have fun.
It is a Rocket League map. They've added it. Oh my actual god. No way.
Are you doing it? Are you winning?
Yes.
Is it fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on?
Am I supposed to be...
I have a thought, and I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience.
Yes.
I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes. Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. Hold on. What are you doing?
Oh!
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley,
Oops. I didn't mean to do that. What the Joe? Where did I go? Shit! 509. We're a level below. We start in the 400s. It's the reverse. It's the... So my office should be this way? I was not expecting this, by the way. The agile.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it.
I fell down a hole.
He needs me.
It wasn't a
Someone who will wrap
choice.
everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
I fell down a hole. That's not a choice. You don't go, oh, when you make a choice.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There's a computer missing.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Yes. Ha 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 ha! Okay. We'll come back to that. We will come back to that. That's obviously something that's going to tick along nicely. Right, so...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yes.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yes.
And here it was, the lounge. What a room, Stanley thought to himself. What a room, what a room, what a room. This is what Stanley thought. What a room. What a room, what a room. What a room. Va-va-voom. What a room.
Yes.
Yeah, but eager to get back to business,
Yes.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Got ya.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Yes. Whee!
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Incredibly powerful. Where has the inputs device gone? I've lost the computer. Is it back in my room?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
No. There's a thing going on. I need to get the inputs. There's doors there. Is that the room that I run through?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Let's go this way again.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room,
Yep.
and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Indeed.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yes.
It was okay.
Is that it? Is that what we reduced you to? It was okay. I went from it's been majestic and it gives me a nosebleed, or I cut myself. I started
Eager to
bleeding.
get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Right, we're going up here to get the telephone. That was my original
Stanley
intention.
was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
So what's happened here is we went up here.
I think perhaps we've
I'll let him
gotten
explain
off
it.
on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
Yes.
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Not gonna fall for it.
Stanley, your chance to redeem yourself.
Nope.
To put your work aside. To let her back into your life.
So we're gonna ignore it.
She's been waiting.
So I unplugged the phone last time, and I answered it the first time.
Stanley.
We're gonna ignore it.
You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her.
Nope.
If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Not gonna do it. Not doing it. Isn't happening. I'm heartless.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
So we're ignoring
You
this. We're
want to
going to go
commit
down the
their
hall.
life to you. I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something.
Nope.
Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Nope. Going this way. Screw it.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Bugger.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man.
Oh. I'm going to have to do the keys, yeah?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him. And
Okay,
every button
right.
that he pushes
So that's the
is
endings.
a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. Why might he feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Mm-hmm.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions.
That wasn't quit. That was begin the game again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Mm-hmm.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Mm-hmm. I did.
Yet there was not a single person
Yep.
here either.
Wherever that was, we're heading
In a
through.
wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his
I
boss's
can't go in there.
hoping he might find an answer there.
Down the stairs we go,
Coming to a
chat.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
It's one of the ways we've not been.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished?
Yeah.
His boss would think he was crazy.
Yeah.
And then something occurred to Stanley.
Yeah.
Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Yeah.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar.
Yeah.
Were they simply repeating?
Yeah.
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real.
No.
And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He
It
yelled.
is.
This is all a dream.
Of course it is.
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Whoa.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still...
Wow.
How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
This is insane.
I am okay.
Am I? Oh.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
What a really weird way to interact with somebody who's just collapsed and died.